Maybe you should have said 5:15. Close enough. Love those. That's me. Love those dynamics on that lighting shot you got going on there. Oh yeah, that dynamic range, bruh. I'm a little disappointed in the bokeh, a little bit. No, my face is frozen on the live. Just FYI. I was like looking, I'm like, wait, my paws? No, he's moving. What? Oh, like, oh, there we go. So Mixcast, what's going on? What's the? Mixcast? If it's really bad, we can call it the miscast. Hi, Dad. Oh, they're saying no sound for Aiden. Ken says no sound for Aiden. Hmm. 1 second. He says 1 second for those that can't hear him, which is apparently everybody except me. He's en route. Uh, Somebody say something. Say pineapple if you can hear him. This is so much more complicated than than the stupid Arturia box. Aiden. We cannot hear thee, sir. Thee, fine, sir. I can hear you, though. So it's working for me. So Clean Feed likes it. Oh, boy. He says, hey, everyone, Aiden says, hang on for a second. He's just switching to another unit because this is a great demo for the Mixcast. Awesome. Awesome. Going to have to learn to read lips. Yeah. I mean, that is a useful skill. I mean, I don't know how to do it. I'm definitely not, I don't have the brain cells to rub together for that one, but, oh, wow, that was a pop. I swear, if he just blew my headphones, I'm gonna kill him. Okay, no, I think we're good. Grandpa, really quickly. We lost audio on both. Why did we lose audio on both? Fuck. Aiden. One second. 1 second. Fuck. Are we there? Oh my god. Why did we do this? I can't hear you. There you go. Oh, you're really quiet.
Test 1 2.
Test, yeah. At one point they said my audio went away. It's like, well, fuck, now
All
what do
right.
we do?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Can they hear you?
Can they hear me? That is the question.
Okay, apparently I'm frozen again.
Yeah. I'll get to you in a second. God damn it. God damn it.
We all need beers. I has a beer.
I can see my
has
mic
a
audio.
beer.
I can see it.
You can say Mike Delgadio? What?
I can see my mic audio. I'm happy with that.
Okay, now he hears Bandrew from Podcastage. What? Okay, now they're just fucking with us.
What?
Okay. Okay, somebody said they can hear you.
All right. Finally, damn it. Now, do I have to go back through everything? What the hell's been going on? Did Dylan, like...
No, I just asked people what was going on, and then you killed Clean Feed, so they couldn't hear me anymore.
Well, no, I didn't kill Clean Feed. I killed my connection to it.
Which means that they can't hear me because...
Yeah, sorry about
Because
that.
it's all good.
Okay, so Tascam. That's the first thing we should talk about. here, the
Mixcast,
Tascam
yeah.
Mixcast 4.
The main thing, yeah.
Fantastic mixer. Does not work with OBS at the moment. OBS just was like-
switch to your overhead camera so we can see it.
I don't have my overhead camera set. I had a hard enough time getting my camera set up. Damn it.
You don't have a switcher yet, man? Come on.
Yeah, I know. No switch yet, man.
Those
Anyways,
are really expensive. I don't know why. Like,
well, I mean, they're not. You can get USB or not USB PCIe cards that you
That
can
do,
plug in, and then it's all software based. They're
Yeah.
not that bad. But then you can also get an A10 Mini for like $300-400. Not that bad. All right, so let's go through here. Kaidad. Honestly, this Mixcast, anyone that is considering this or the Rodecaster Pro needs to watch this video. It's coming out as soon as I can get it out, but I'm still working with the bloody thing. It's freaking impressive, though. Like, really impressive. So, it basically trades blows with the Rodecaster Pro, and it has a full multi-track capabilities. It has a few quirks that I'll save for the video. But for the most part, it is fantastic. So, feel free to ask me any questions about it. I'm not going to give too much away for it because I do want to save some for the video. Don't want everybody having all the great details. I'm not going to tell you what my gripes are about it. That's for sure. Because those gripes are annoying. Liberty Dude. By the way, cheers. Thanks for the membership, Liberty Dude. Appreciate it. Lost audio on both. It's good. You're back. Stand by. Dylan's frozen. Dylan, Aiden switching out of Clean Feed. All right. I think I'm near the bottom here. How's everyone doing? My sound is low. Okay, I'll turn up a little bit. How's that?
Are you back in the Arteria now?
No, I'm on the Evo 4.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at my levels. My levels are not low. So,
And they don't sound low to me. Actually, I have to turn my shit down because
right.
you're quite... There we go.
All right. Hey, popping implosives. Yeah, it's right here. Okay.
Popping peas.
Freaking popping the piece here, bud. Sorry about the pops. I actually, because I'm going through the Evo 4 and everything kind of just had to slap this shit together. I can't hear myself in my headphones. So I don't know if I'm popping the peas, so I'll just put this off. Asdas, I can't remember your name again. Dan, that's what it is. Got an OC818 this week. I'm jealous. I want one of those. That's one of my need to get microphones very, very, very soon.
Add it to the list on top of the 414 and the MKH 416.
Well, the OC818 I want to get for the review. Like, I really do want to get the review for that.
Speaking of microphones, expensive and want to get, let's talk about what people thought of the U87.
That is
in comparison
interesting
to the Stellar X2.
See,
I completely forgot that came out on Monday, so I just now was like, I wonder what the feedback was on that one.
Podcastage got real mad.
Oh yeah,
Bandrew got mad because he doesn't think that the Stellar X2 sounds anything like it.
I have to kind of agree. I mean,
Yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't.
It sounds as close to the U87 as like any condenser mic would sound to another condenser mic. Like in that, I mean, it's yeah.
It's not it's
Don't
not
get
a it's not a harsh sounding microphone.
Stellar is a great mic.
Yeah.
In fact, I fully plan on buying one because of how actually they are more expensive now. I did look them up last week, and they are a little bit steeper than we'd last cited.
Ken, I am using the P420. Dan, I wouldn't expect you to mail that to me. That's an expensive mic to send through the mail.
Get insurance.
I was more surprised with how the NT2A stood up to it. Now, the NT2A was a little harsher on some of the frequencies, but I mean, from a tone and kind of this, it wasn't as smooth, but it held up better than I thought it was going to. Like,
Did the podcast thing? Did he comment that, or did you talk on the side about that?
Oh no, he flat out came on, commented on the video and said
Nice.
it sounds nothing like it. And you know what? I listened back to it, not the YouTube version, because the YouTube version,
Oh, it fucks everything up.
yeah, it's not the greatest. But I listened to the original, and yeah, it's a lot darker. Like the Stellar X2 is dark as fuck in comparison, like dark. But yeah, the U87 sounds better than both microphones, flat out.
Look at this guy. Look at this hipster Bandrew talking about the U67 reissue. I mean, the U87 AI is basically the U87 AI, U87 reissue.
Wait a second, that is Bandrew in chat?
No, I'm on his comment on the.
Oh,
on
on his
your
comment,
video.
yeah. So yeah, I agree. The U87 sounds better than both mics. Of course it does.
Yeah, you pay a $3,500 premium for that.
There's no replacing the value in something like that. The more money you spend on microphones, the better they're going to get.
Is the microphone worth $4,000? No, it is not. Is it worth a lot? Yes, it's worth a lot. But I would say it's gotten because of its ubiquitousness. That's why. I mean, the U87 AI, in my opinion, if you've ever heard an original U87, they are very different mics. They're very different beasts.
Yeah, but once again, though, and I brought this up in the video, the U87 versus U87 AI, and a lot of people have said this, people smoked in studios back then.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, the thing is, yeah, if you find a U87 now, like one that's still floating around, it's probably shot to shit.
Well, it's just also the differential, why it was darker, is probably nicotine on the capsule.
Yeah, just
Like,
film.
it's
Just all kinds of film and
Have
grime.
you ever seen the walls of a smoker's house? Imagine that on the capsule.
Have you ever seen the lungs of a smoker?
Yeah.
And then imagine them breathing that onto a microphone.
Right?
Black pudding. Like,
Joey Scar, we got a lot of people in here, and there's a lot of chat going on. Oh my god, I don't know if we're gonna be able-
I can't keep up. I just saw the whole, like, I just flipped back to the tab and just, like,
It's going to be tough to keep up, but we're gonna try. Lewitt,
bangs for fuck's sakes with the 8500.
Bang says, is it 5% better or 2% better? It's here's the
They're
thing about
both
the
good.
value.
They're just different.
The value of a U87 isn't necessarily in just the quality of the sound. It's also the amount of people it works with. A Stellar X2 isn't going to work with every voice.
Again, and it's kind of ironic, you know, going back to one of your recent videos talking about broadcast mics, where the U87 is not advertised as a broadcast mic. That's never a word that I've seen the U87 AI marketed with. That said, it is way more of a broadcast mic than any of the other, the 2040. Like, it, you know, when we're talking about broadcast mics, we're talking about the translatableness. It's not a word, but we'll pretend like it is. To bunch of different voices, bunch of different situations, and the U87 totally has that.
Yep.
In fact, it has it better than a lot of mics that are actually, like I said, advertised as I would even say it does it better than an SM7 does.
Yeah.
But that's also a $3,500 price difference.
Bang says you have to have a $3,000 voice to make it worth it. I have
Absolutely.
a $13 voice. Yeah.
I would agree 100%. If you're gonna spend $4,000 on a U87, spend $1,000 on a TLM.
Yeah.
And then spend $3,000 on voice lessons.
Yep.
Right. That's really what you should be doing.
You'll get a lot more work with that. Joey Scar says I use a Lewitt LCT 940.
Lewitt's good shit. I like Lewitt.
I've actually got, so I think I mentioned this last week, a small partnership with Jam Industries, which is one of the largest.
And you have an affiliate ship.
Kind of, not really, no, because I'm not making money off of it. It's just
Not yet.
They're sending me gear to review.
I mean, you'll be creating content, and then the content will generate revenue. So technically, you're making money.
So they're the ones that are sending me the Arturia mini fuse to give away. By the way, that will be happening in future. So yeah, if you want an Arturia mini fuse, there's probably going to be some pretty good odds on this one. I'm also picking up, due to that partnership, he's going to be sending me a Lewitt LCT 440. So I'm going to be checking that out. I haven't heard that one yet. What are you laughing about?
Fucking Ken.
Ken, with headphones on, I can hear Dylan's AC clubbing his noise gate half to death. Oh, that is talk about the
that is one of the like cultural jokes of this channel at this point is my fucking air conditioner.
Yeah, by the way, someone asked Callie Kaidad, forgive my ignorance, I'm new to audio YouTubers. I know who Aiden is. That's sweet.
I'm the random guy.
Who's the gentleman to the right? I'd love to give him a follow. He doesn't even have a YouTube channel for his audio stuff.
It doesn't have any audio stuff yet.
Well, it's just got music.
It's funny you mentioned that. That's a great segue. I've had now probably the 7th person, now the 8th person, I guess, bother me to start a YouTube channel this week.
Really?
One of our sales reps, she's like, you should totally do it. I was like, it's not. I'm not that guy for that. She's like, no. She's like, you're entertaining. Like, she's like, I love talking to you. She's like, you're not as boring as you think you are. I'm like,
well, it's true. I mean,
I think I'm boring, but I think it's because I'm around myself at 24 hours a day. I think that naturally makes everybody feel like they're super like boring and useless.
You have a specific set of skills.
Yeah, okay, there, Liam. Liam
so Dylan Lalonde.
I've commented in the chat, so just find my comment. I'm at Dylan Lalonde.
Ken says, I just got an NT1. Love it. Damn you, microphone channels for my new addiction, you rotten bastards. You know what? The NT1's a beautiful mic. I don't have one in my, but I don't need one. I'm for crying out loud, but I might end up getting one in the near future.
Ninth person.
And only 2 upvotes. Bangs naughty bits. What got 2 upvotes? Your voice? That's sad. I like
Miss Ravioli.
I like Lewitt because they have white candy bear mic. A white candy bear mic?
Just out of curiosity, so I just yelled. Did I just clip? Or did the limiter grab onto that?
I think the limiter grabbed onto that.
Sweet. Yay, Wheatstone.
Hi, Ms. Ravioli. Yeah, Gotta Metal Dylan, you should start a YouTube channel. I've been telling you. Oh, Zip Fizz.
So I'm glad Dan brought that up.
Do you say anything, Dylan? I've got something for you here. So about 3 weeks ago, I told my wife, I'm like, I got a few packages. She was going to the post office. Can you drop these off and send them? I had everything filled out. She's like, yeah, sure. Oh, did you send the Zip Fizz? Yeah, sent it. And then I look over onto my workbench the other day, and your Zip Fizz is sitting right there.
Okay, I was just going to say, because I went to the mailbox literally today, and I'm like, it's not there. And I'm like, either I gave you the wrong address, which I know I didn't, or...
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So that makes sense. No, it's all good.
This one's on me. I'm going to be getting the Zip Fizz out the door again. Blame my wife.
I'll start off.
She's sweet.
Dan, I'm going to start off a new channel, and I'm going to do like a shoe nice style video where I'm just going to eat random shit that I really probably shouldn't be eating, i.e. an entire package of Zip Fizz without any water.
Man, that is a whole YouTube channel in itself. Just
it literally
eating stuff like ASMR eating. Yeah.
Not even ASMR. Like anyone here who's never heard, like look up shoe nice, all one word, shoe nice on YouTube.
You don't need to.
You don't need to, but you definitely should. Like that guy who's made a alarming amount of money just doing stupid eating shit that you definitely shouldn't eat.
How is Ms. Ravioli? You always say hello and then you go quiet and you kind of sit on the. So it's just, how's everything going? Just checking in. I feel like we've caught up with the comments, Dylan.
Finally.
So Mixcast 4, by the way, Dylan, just drink it normal. It's cool.
No, I'll eat it. That's what we did. Aiden did it. I'll do it.
Well, for the one for this channel, your channel, you can.
Oh yeah, I'll do whatever.
Yeah. No,
I'll slug back a whole
perform.
Box perform.
So, the Mixcast 4. I have to say, I had my hopes up for the P8, like a lot, like big time. And I feel like I was let down by the Zoom PodTrack P8. This thing just completely lifted me right back up. Now, but I do have a question for you, Dylan.
Okay.
Channel routing. Okay, so why is it, like if you were to ASIO for all, if you were to download that, why is channel 1 and 2 always set aside for stereo mix?
I actually know the answer to this. The answer is in the case of ASIO for all, and it's to simplify it because They wanted to make sure that generally they found a lot of people that download SEO for All either are not using great gear or just have no idea what they're doing.
Okay.
So it's one way that they can sort of make it always predictable that channel 1 and 2 is always like your main mix, basically.
So
That's pretty much the reason.
Why would someone like Tascam make 1 and 2 their stereo mix? When they include proprietary ASIO drivers.
The only benefit is predictability, simplicity. That's it. There's no other benefit to doing that. You can make any channel.
But it just confuses people. Input 1 should be the first input, number 1, for channel routing when you're doing multi-track.
Yeah, honestly, that it is, and it's one of the reasons why you'll never catch me using SEO for All, and now you'll never catch me using the Mixcast. Because I'm used to, again, I've been pampered. Anytime I've been in large budget studio situations, I've been a handful of times on a Rupert Neve, but most of the time on an SSL console.
Yeah.
And SSL consoles are known for routing. That's literally the thing that SSL is good at, is routing.
Well, okay, so, and this is the thing, like, I had to call Tascam. I got one of their technicians on this, and even he was like, oh my God, I can't believe they did this. They put the stereo feed on 1 and 2, and I'm like, well,
whoa. Okay, so that's different. I thought you were saying that outputs 1 and 2 automatically, like you can't route them. They're automatically, you're saying the inputs are foldback.
Yeah.
Okay, that's stupid.
So when you go to pick, like when you're setting up your multi-track recording session.
Bandrew's in the house. FYI.
What's up, Andrew? Click noise. When you go to set up your multi-track session and you're grabbing the source, you click and you'll see 1 through 14 because it's 14.
I mean, it's really 3 through 14 because 1 and 2 are your foldback.
But that's the problem. It shouldn't be.
They should have made, if it was me on the R&D team for Tascam, I would have made 13, 14 the foldback.
Yes, because you know what? There's no labeling on it either. It's just 1 through 14. So you don't know when you hit 1.
Well, see, and this is one, like, I don't know if every DAW has this. Pro Tools has it. I think Cubase does, where when you're putting together your I/O matrix, you can relabel like any of the channels to whatever the hell you want. So I've done that. So if it was me, I would flag those 2 right away as like foldback A, foldback L, foldback R.
Well, even the technician was like, "Yeah, I'm putting word in. We're changing this. This is garbage."
And hopefully, I mean, it seems like a driver thing. So hopefully, it doesn't require like a whole new firmware update to the tool, and it's just literally an ASIO driver.
And
problem.
even if they just label the friggin' things in the ASIO drivers, we're good. But it shouldn't take, like, somebody that's never worked audio before trying to set up a multi-track scenario with that.
See,
what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, no, before we talk about ASIO for All, that's simplicity. This is the other way around. This is actually just making it more confusing.
Right. So I blame Mrs. Dark Corner for nothing. Thanks, Bangs. When New York Giants ask you to stop wearing their merch, you know you're really doing something bad. Oh, dear God. We're still talking about food eating. Rode officially released Rode Connect 1.21 with official support for the Wireless Go 2. Very cool. I did see that. I actually have the Wireless Go 2 that I was thinking about doing a video on it. But then I'm like, the Rode Wireless Go 2 video did shit. Nobody watched it. So
I don't know how long Podcastage has been here, but I'm gonna say something that's gonna make him really happy. I think the Stellar X was an awesome.
Oh, you're just sucking up.
Replacement to the U87. I mean, they're basically identical.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to suck up.
No, they're basically identical. I mean, I don't know why you would ever think they're different. I mean, all they did was take a capsule from a U87, put it in a Stellar chassis.
Well, no, it's a U87 knockoff capsule. Like, it's not the capsule.
No, it sounds the same, so it's obviously the same one.
Oh, no, it's not. Don't trigger the people watching the video. Like, Bandrew's like, fuck you guys, I'm out. Zoom did the same thing with their live track mixers, but they changed it in software update. I didn't know that, actually. I would have like one side of Zoom and down the other had I heard about that. that is just trash. I don't know who decided that that's the smart thing to do.
But why is that the default?
I think because ASIO for All is the benchmark that a lot of them are basing their ASIO drivers on.
That response was worth every second.
We'll get to it. You give the rough cut to the video. Okay, so Austrian Audio's OC818 seems like a really interesting mic with the ability to post-edit production off 2 of its outputs. I'll have to see what the hype's about. Yeah, it's pricey checking out the hype. What is that? I think it's like 1,800 Canadian.
That's an expensive hype checking endeavor.
Yeah. A weird one is the Zoom H6 has its channels LR on the XY, 1, 2, 3, 4 is channels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in software. Yeah, that kind of stuff is just...
It's a weird thing to default to. There must be an engineering reason why they think that's useful.
And you know there's one nerdy-ass dude in the bottom of engineering that's going, no, it has to be this way. No.
Yeah, there's somebody... Well, and this is the problem, right? And we see this with software development, where people that are often building the software have no idea what the users need or what it is that they're building out. So that's why one of the reasons why lots of software has shit that you're like, why is it this way? It's because you're dealing with coders, not sound engineers.
Right.
And which is why I think it's important that they have a good relationship with people that actually know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, and it's sending out review units. I don't know anyone else that has a Tascam Mixcast 4. By the way, props out to Bandrew for this. I think he helped me get it because I had called them and said, hey, I could use one of those for a review. And then they're like, yeah, we'll get back to you. And then Bandrew put in a word for me. And then all of a sudden they sent me out a massive package with a questionable mic, horrible headphones, and a gig bag. So there's that. Bandrew, why are you the way that you are? I hate all that you choose to be.
That was worth every second of trolling that went into
that. That is, yeah.
Like 100%.
You made Bandrew hate you. Bandrew is a gem.
Oh, Bandrew probably already hated me. I give people lots of reasons to do that.
Suck alert, Quebecer. Ken says that's what she said, Bandrew. And everyone's just responding to Bandrew now. Liberty, dude. They got done saying the Pile knockoff sounds the same as the U67.
No, not just the regular, just the reissue.
Yeah, the Pile knockoff.
Not the vintage. Yeah, the Pile. Fuck off. Even I can't. I have trolling limits. I can't do that.
Yeah. That's just disgusting. It's so Zoom and Skype get to mix channels. Oh,
honestly. You know what occurs to me and what annoys me about software developers, and this is probably might be a factor with the Tascam, is they probably created that they thought up that fold back feature.
Yeah.
And then they were like, man, this is so cool. Like this, we gotta showcase this. So we're gonna put it like front and center because it's so cool that we can do this. And I guarantee that's actually I'm like now like 85% sure because I've worked with software developers and that's totally a thing that happens where they come up with an idea and like this is fucking amazing. It's got to be like the first thing we talk about.
Yeah, this is interesting. Bank says it's so Zoom and Skype get the mixed channels exposed as channels 1, 2. That's interesting. Synapse says as a software developer, that's primarily the fault of the product owner and not having expert stakeholders involved in the development cycle. Yes, and you know what? I've seen, and like the PodTrack P8 is a perfect example of that. You had people that didn't know what the industry needed building the product.
Yep, and we just went through that with a product that I'm working on for work. Software dev, and I'm basically the liaison because I understand the dev process and I also understand how the broadcast business works.
Yep.
So I have to be the Rosetta Stone between the two groups of people. And a lot of times I will pitch something to the company that develops this SaaS software that I will not mention the name of. And their answer is, well, it's not business critical. And it's like, I'm sorry, I'm not paying you guys. We're not paying you guys like $100,000 a year for you to tell me what's business critical.
Right.
This is our business. You don't know our business because we're your first client in this vertical. So screw off. Take my word for it.
My dog's walking around here and eating stuff off the floor. You can hear him?
I hear tap, tap, tap.
Moo.
Hey. It's not loud. It's just very subtle, but it just sounds like some ASMR.
Stop eating stuff off the floor, you idiot. Hint of shrimp. I'm taking a nap. Y'all are coming with me. Hint. How's it going, brother? Dimebag Darren, Canadian coins. Hey, boys. I'm trying to find something like, hey, Bandrew, I want a big package too. Wow. Okay.
So here's a question in response to Bandrew's comment, or not Bandrew's comment, Bangs' comment, the other B. Bangs' comment about so you're buying a Mixcast. Are you if you're using it for Zoom and Skype? Is that really why you're buying the Mixcast?
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, right? Like this.
I mean, if it was a really shitty USB mic, I would say okay, it makes sense why they would cater that to Zoom and Skype and ASIO for all. Sure, that makes some sense. But the Mixcast, it seems to be catering to two different sort of audio verticals, like consumer and then prosumer / professional. So I don't. It's a plausible argument, but
yeah,
why they would go out of the way to do that for a professional product?
Ms. Ravioli, yes, I'm going to be doing a Rodecaster versus Tascam. By the way, heads up, anybody that's interested in the Tascam, it's $100 more than the Rodecaster Pro, and I think it's worth it. There's a very specific reason why it's worth it, but I got to get my dog out of the garbage. Get out of the garbage.
I mean,
get
it looks like it's worth it. I've read some brochures on it.
The included DAW. It has an included DAW.
What's the DAW?
The DAW?
Yeah, what's the DAW?
It's just the Tascam DAW.
How is it?
It's rudimentary, but it's still better than Audacity.
It's free.
It's still better than Audacity.
It's bundled.
Yeah, but you can technically download it. I don't know if it would work with another.
Honestly,
interface.
I'm not a fan of Audacity, but I still, on every new installation that I do, I still install Audacity because it, like in my new build, for example, it saved my ass because I only had Pro Tools installed on that system and there were no ASIO drivers installed. So Pro Tools was like, huh? So to test the audio of the onboard sound, I could use the Windows Audio Engine or the Microsoft Audio mapping blah. And it worked. So Audacity pulled me out of the mud on that one.
Nice.
The one time.
We all know that anyone using the moniker Bangs Naughty Bits is loaded with answers. Wow. All right, so that's what this is going to become.
Who said that?
We're just going to stand back and let everybody fight.
Ken and Bangs. Always Ken and Bangs going at it.
Audacity will be non-destructive as of version 3.1. Wow. Well, I guess now that they got their new owners, people are actually going to pay attention and update the bloody thing. I've grown up to expect a price bump in a Tascam product, warranted or not. And you know what? That's a sad thing. Tascam's always played kind of second fiddle to everyone else. Like
it's hard though because back in the era of reel-to-reel Tascam tape machines, I mean they weren't Studers. They weren't Studers or MSI jobs, but they were still really well. And it's like it was kind of like Fostech. Fostech, another company that used to be the same, and now Fostech is horrible. But so I wouldn't say
shout
Tascam
out to Fostech, by the way. Shout out to Fostech.
Hopefully Ericsson doesn't deal in Fostech stuff. But no, I have a pair of Tascam headphones, or not Tascam headphones, Fostech's headphones, and they're garbage. But Tascam they're not quite that bad. But they've definitely, in my opinion, as a company, their product lines have kind of
they middled.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. This is the one thing that I have to give props to Rode, because Rode actually engineered and developed something that wasn't already out there. The Rodecaster Pro was a completely new invention. They put research and development into developing a product that has never been released before. Unlike other brands, Behringer, that just takes the body of another microphone, jams their own shit inside of it, and goes, look, it's a Behringer.
That's Behringer's entire business model. Find successful products, knock them off. That's what Behringer does.
But there's a lot of companies doing that. And I've got to say, from Tascam's perspective, they kind of ripped off the Rodecaster Pro, but they did it well.
Yeah, and they are different products. They're very similar, and they have similar feature sets from the brochure that I've read on it.
Yeah.
But so they're not like exact carbon copies like Behringer stuff often is.
This will come up when I review the microphone, because I'm not including the microphone and the headphones they sent me in the same review as a Mixcast, because I feel like that would be mean. I'm actually just going to be doing the Mixcast alone, then I'll do the mic. But the microphone is literally the exact same body of every other microphone that's made by a Chinese company that's a no-name product like Maono. All of those. It's the exact same. Like, you can tell there's a company making the bodies for these microphones, and everyone just buys them and shoves some crap inside and calls it
every time you say Maono, like my knee-jerk reaction when I hear that word is I feel like you're doing like a verbal typo and you actually mean to say Disney's Moana.
Moana. I kind of want to say it too.
You know what? I think looking at this, and referring to one of Bangs' comments, I think my first video, I'm just going to be a dumbass. My first video, if I do a audio YouTube channel, is I'm going to acquire an old Tascam 2 or 4 track, and I'm going to do a comparison between it and a Studer and the Studer that I have. Something just super niche. It's going to get like 3
Nice.
views.
Yeah, a Joey Scar, Tascam greater than Audacity, Reaper greater than Pro Tools. Now that's how you start a war.
Accurate.
Ooh, Mixcaster and Roadcaster.
Accurate. That is, in fact, how you start a war.
So you're checking Mixcaster and Roadcaster at the same price. When I was writing up, so I'm doing up a pre-write-up for the video, and the Tascam was $100 more. Now, before I record the video, I'll actually confirm those prices. But yeah, they're also really hard to get right now. They're selling out everywhere, which, like I said, if I look, all I see is the Sweetwater review on it, which Sweetwater doesn't exactly call out any of the issues, right?
They're sponsored.
Yeah. Rode is the company that actually noticed the podcast market first, Procaster, PodMic, Rodecaster Pro. It's true. They're actually developing products that aren't based on an SM58, or they're not based on anything else. They're actually going out. They've got research and development. That's why I've never complained about the price of the Rodecaster Pro. I get it that it's expensive for what it is. I just think you should be getting certain things for the price. But then on top of that, they have to pay off their own research and development. R&D is not fucking cheap.
No, it's not cheap. And I do have a lot of respect. It's a double-edged sword, doing full stack R&D or full stack development of anything. On the one hand, you have total control on what it coming is. You have enough of a grasp that you can build it from the ground up and kind of have an idea of what everything does and what everything is. The flip side of that is there's no precedent.
Yeah, no.
It's something that's completely out of nowhere, and it's like I see this on the software side a lot of times where companies will advertise full stack developers, and it's like, well, that's great, which it means that you have a really good handle on the product that you're making. On the other hand, it means that it's not based on any known infrastructure.
Yeah,
which
and that's
makes me nervous. Makes me nervous, especially in the case of hardware with like a mission critical application.
Yeah, Banjo, after the RCP, everyone wanted to get on it, and the PodMic. Oh, the PodMic. One of the worst $100 mic releases, and I don't like PodMics are fine. An SM58 sounds better.
Honestly,
like,
I think
a billion times better.
I think it's safe to say, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this. I don't think we've gotten any greater shade on our lives or on the channel in general than when we shit on the Rodecaster Pro.
Right?
That's the one thing that nobody tolerates.
But that's the thing. Like when I shit on it, the only reason I do that is because they made some errors in the launch.
Everything has errors. Like,
yeah, but the one thing, and that's the one thing about the Mixcast 4 is they only have a couple annoyances, like irritations. They don't have any massive missteps.
Oh yeah,
with this
no
thing.
full stops.
But
just
because
a couple of
they
stumbles.
learned from Rode. They knew exactly what Rode did wrong and just didn't do it wrong.
That is, again, getting back to pros and cons. That is a pro. Why developing something off an existing product and trying to make it better? That said, I don't know what the XM1800S is based on. I'm not sure I want to know.
It's based off of the SM58.
That's a really
Every
horrible
Behringer
incarnation.
microphone is based on whatever it looks like.
Okay, see, I've got my B pair of monitors. Actually, they're my C pair now. My C pair of monitors in the studio are a pair of Behringer B2031As, active monitors. And they are, in fact, based on a sort of old studio pair of Mackeys. And they sound really similar. I wouldn't be surprised if the Mackeys, and again, the Mackeys, they chose that because at the time it was a very common set of monitors that you find in studios. But there is a difference. But there's not that much of a difference. But the XM1800 and the SM58, they might as well be on two different planets. Like,
all right, I gotta get on this. Liberty Dude, didn't the Rodecaster Pro come out after the Zoom Live Track L20? Yes, but they're very different machines. Very, very different. Mayono was a great Disney film. Stop shitting on it. It was. I loved the microphones in that movie. Yeah, the L20 would be something very different from the Rodecaster Pro, true. Blue thought of podcasters first. What does a podcaster need beyond a Blue Yeti? Oh, dear Jesus.
This is like the Stellar U87 trolling again.
Yeah. The Hands of Fate is fantastic quality. I have no idea what that, a black and blue Yeti. What everyone's talking amongst themselves. People like the look of the PodMic for $100 US. Okay. So, and that's fine. Like, the PodMic isn't going to destroy your audio.
But don't buy stuff because, I mean, I say that, and how much do we shit on the King Bee?
Yeah, well, right.
Because it looks like shit. But it's like, I mean, if something looks really bad, you don't have to buy it. But if something looks really good, that doesn't mean it's like, I don't know, the Mixcast looks good, but obviously there's some stumbles with it.
If you're going to position yourself as a $100 microphone, you should at least come close to the sound quality of an SM58.
Of another $100 microphone.
Of another $100.
Known in the business.
If you sound worse than another $100 dynamic microphone, you're doing it wrong.
The funny thing is about Shure's price point, and so as a precursor, I don't think the SM58's price point is unreasonable. For what it is, I think it's actually a reasonable price point. That said, it is higher than it could be.
Yeah.
There are, I forget, maybe Bandra knows, but there's a company that was advertised years ago of a bunch of sort of Shure company exiles that started making, they started their own little company. They would make like 58s and 57s and all the, the Hallmark Shure mics. And they were selling, like you could get 5 mics for the price of 158. It was like ridiculous what they were marking them down for. So Behringer could totally make a 58 quality mic for less than $100.
Oh, yeah.
Not.
Richard says throw a DBX 286 at the pod mic. It'll sound good.
No.
Well, no. Actually, a little bit of compression.
Not a DBX. I had a DBX 166A die last week, and I'm off of DBX now.
Yeah. He's very anti DBX. A pod mic will sound okay. Like it's not going to wreck your audio. Once again, it's not a horrendous like throw up mic. However, I didn't think like for $100. I think they should compete at least with other microphones at $100. All I'll say about that without hurting anyone's feelings. Synapse says, I just left my Blue Yeti behind not 2 weeks ago for the NT1A. Nice switch up. The impression I've been left with is learning how to EQ. I wonder how popular a series on making bad mics sound good would be. Actually, you'd be surprised. Julian Krause has done a couple of those. I've done 1 or 2 between the SM58 and the SM7B. I don't know how much people want to stare at a screen of me playing with the the EQ curves. But yeah, like how to EQ is definitely on the list. I want to make sure I can present a video like that without losing people's interest. Whenever you're doing a screenshot of an actual like workspace, like a audition or whatever, people get pretty bored pretty fast. So I'll see what I can
that's
do.
why like I stay the hell, like if I were to ever have a YouTube channel, I would stay the hell away from screen cap vids. I hate that.
Yeah, and I'm trying to stay the hell away from it, but this, like if I do an EQ
if
video,
you're going to at least use a webcam to get like a little P&P or something that at least adds a little bit of something.
Like I watch guys like Peter McKinnon going between Photoshop and himself, and he just makes sure that he's never in Photoshop too long. So it's just making sure you have some nice dynamic back and forth. Bang says, I bought the Blue Encore 200 because it had a shiny copper grill and was phantom powered dynamic, so I could always be that guy. Yeah.
Honestly, though, like, and it's coming up also further down in the chat, but like, I don't, like I said, if something looks like shit, don't buy it. But like, there's some mics that, like, I hate
Blue
to
makes
say,
decent mics.
I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this. I don't really like some of the design elements of the SM7. The SM7B. It's not the worst looking mic or anything, but there's some stuff about this design that's just
wire
not practical.
Stupid. The wire is stupid.
Well, not only is it stupid, but of course, fucking Yellowtech adds this massive XLR cable that I've like wrapped around the boom. Stupid Mika.
Callie Kaidad, I think that's how I say your name. If you want to try it out, I'm pretty sure Guitar Center lets you return if you don't like it. Give the Mixcast a try. The only thing, if you're going to actually go out and buy it, the only thing I'll actually give you a heads up on is the gain is about the same as the Rodecaster Pro. The gain isn't super clean. It does have all of the de-esser compression, all that stuff, but an SM7B isn't going to be pushed comfortably with the Tascam Mixcast 4. It's just not clean enough, the gain, which is one of the big disappointments. That said, it is 24-bit, 48 kilohertz. So you're going to be getting some decent sound out of it if you're not using an SM7B. If you're using an SM58 or anything, you should be fine. Lewitt is AKG Exile.
Yeah, there's a lot of conversation. So I think that the real difference is because Lewitt was around before AKG shut down their studio, their facility in Austria, their manufacturing plant. Austrian Audio, which is a more recent company, actually spawned because of that factory shutdown.
Interesting.
But I think, yeah, both of them are spin-offs. Lewitt is great. Both of them are great. Austrian Audio is great. A little more expensive. Lewitt is a little cheaper, but both are actually fantastic products.
I've got a couple Lewitt on the way from Jam Industries. We'll see how
Which
that
ones?
is. I've got the C L440 and I think the 240 just to give them a try.
I believe those are remnants of the 214 and the 414. Those are supposed to be
beautiful. Okay.
I think so.
I have to reach out to Austrian Audio. I reached out to them back, when I was a little too cocky for my own good. And I'm like, give me some free shit, dude.
Hey, man, fake it till you make it.
Well, so I'm going to reach out to Austrian Audio just to see if they'll, I mean, I don't care if they're going to lend me a mic, whatever. Don't care about that. So, but I do want to get the OC818 and I want to try it before I buy it. I don't just want to buy it and go, So, I mean, see, look at me. Oh, by the way, we're going to be talking about pre-ordering. That's coming up. Alan and Soundspeeds did make the bad mics sound decent. Yes, that's right. Alan did
Hang
do
on.
that.
Did you just try to billboard a talk about pre-ordering?
Yes. Yes.
Number one way to lose viewers.
Coming up in just a few. Don't freaking pre-order. Austrian Audio got the old AKG anechoic chamber. Yep. Very cool.
They got a couple of the assets that AKG used to use. But yeah, that was a big deal.
Cheers, Cali Kaidad. No, I don't want you going out and buying something if you're not quite like, trust me, wait for the review. I just don't want to push the review out too fast.
So just pursuant to that and also to your video on Monday, don't buy a U87. You don't need it.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Okay. So
do as I say, not as I do.
Pre-orders for the Neat Mike's King B2 have gone up. And I do have a contact at Neat, or actually it's at Turtle Beach. I have a contact at Turtle Beach that's like, don't worry, we'll get you one. You'll have it in hand. They're also sending me that Skyline one. It's the new Neat Mic for conferences. It looks like a building. They're sending me that. They're like, you want to review it? I'm like, yeah, I guess so. Sure.
It looks like a
It's
building.
a microphone. It's weird. Look up the Skyline microphone.
I think I've said that's a boundary mic, isn't it?
What do you mean by boundary mic?
It's a mic it's a mic that's designed to sit like on a floor, on a podium, or on a boundary.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. What's it called? Skyline?
Yeah, Skyline. Did Mr. Dark have audio problems off the start? Yes, I did, Sean.
Very much so.
Yeah. Sean's in the past again. Sean likes to catch up as he goes, so
that's interesting. I don't think it's a boundary mic because the place where the sound goes in is significantly above where it sits.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, yeah, interesting.
So they're pre-selling this mic. Do not pre-order a microphone until you've seen the reviews about it. I know that the last line of Neat microphones was fantastic and kind of swung a little bit outside of its price point, or at least its final price point. That doesn't mean that the new line being launched with a completely different body, with a completely different everything, is going to fit the same. It's not the same criterion as the last mics. So just keep that in mind. You might be spending money on a microphone that kind of sucks. We don't know yet. Wait until you get a review or two under your belt. At least do that. It's not a lot of money, but it's enough money to probably piss you off pretty good. Because once you've opened a mic and set it up and talked into it, you might have a hard time sending it back. I'm just saying. So please wait. Anything to say on this, Dylan? Or are you just going to look at the Skyline?
I would say no. I'm back. I'm back in the zone. I'd say that goes for most things though. Like in this business, or well, most businesses for that matter, don't pre-order stuff. And there are some situations, some product types where it makes sense, but it's I always even Windows 11. I've seen beta releases, but there's some key software, mission critical software I need to use that has not been tested with Windows 11 yet. At least not extensively, and I'm not touching that thing until it gets tested because I make money with this stuff and need to use it every day. And if I update and I can't use my shit anymore, that's not an okay thing. So, I agree. Don't, especially microphones though, hardware, audio hardware, video hardware, don't pre-order.
Yeah.
Unless you can get some kind of
bucks.
unless you can get some kind of money back guarantee, which is rare. Don't do it.
I came to the live section because I didn't know how long the microphone issues were going to last. Sean, they actually only lasted about 7 minutes, I think, for me to swap
Which
out.
felt like a fucking eternity.
Oh, you had to talk on your own for a couple seconds.
Yeah, until
big
you
whiny
cut me
baby.
off. You turned off clean feed, and then I'm making mime signals to the. And then my video is frozen, so I couldn't even do that.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Bandrew nails it. Buy on the product's actual quality and not the promises made. And that's the thing.
Promises are marketing quality is what actually benefits the consumer.
But it's also, you have to remember, companies don't care about you. The companies don't give a shit about your existence. They want you to buy their product. They want you to buy the next product that comes out.
They care about your existence until it starts to have a substantial impact on their bottom line. And then they don't care about you anymore.
If a company knows that they can give you a pile of dog shit and you'll pay $200 for it, they're going to give you a pile of dog shit and make you pay $200 for it. It's reviews that hold the standard up.
Tacking onto that, I will also say, we've talked about this before on stream and in videos. Don't do some research into a company. Find out what they do.
Yep.
Right? Find out what their thing is, right? Rode makes mics. That's Rode's thing. That's always been Rode's thing. I mean, yeah, they make other things, but they're real. It's like SSL. Don't go out and buy an SSL VHD set of 4 preamps for $1,600. That will not be good for you. Are the VHD pre's good? Yeah, they're all right. But SSL is not known for preamps. That's not their thing. I'm slapping the desk. Don't. But so like that a lot of people will buy. It's like go to an Italian restaurant, order a steak, and then complain about the steak is shit. It's like, well, no, dipshit. It's an Italian restaurant. Go get pasta from McDonald's. The same problem. I don't think McDonald's has pasta, but you get the idea.
Yeah. Well, it's pizza from McDonald's. There you go.
There you go.
Liberty Dude, I have the Volt 476 pre-ordered. I don't know what that is. It will be great, damn it, so suck it. Here's the thing. There's some companies that when they know they've got a great product, what they'll do is they'll put some of them out into the wild so some reviews can happen, and then the pre-orders can pile in. But if you see a microphone that has not hit the open market or any piece of gear that nobody's been hands-on with, and the company's still asking you for your money, just be wary, because that's the time where you've got to go, wait a second. So Neat was purchased by Turtle Beach, which is fine. Turtle Beach is trying to get into the microphone market. They want to get into the prosumer market. So they bought it, and then they switched out the one thing about Neat microphones that I think was its Achilles heel, the look. And they're repackaged it.
It was really, it's not a bad mic, but let's be honest, most people bought it because it looked cool.
Packaging on a microphone actually means something, though. The way that the microphone is encased in its body matters
packaging in
to its
general.
sound.
Packaging in general, but yeah, especially with microphones. People you talk about the NT2A versus the U87, how they're so much more similar. I imagine a large part of that has to do with the cavity resonances of them. Like they have the same general kind of dimensions, whereas the Stellar X2 is much smaller.
It's a tiny little microphone.
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why the SM7 sounds the way that it does, and why even though it's so similar to the SM57 and the 58. One of the reasons.
Oh, the Volt 476. Yeah, that's the UA, the new entry level UA interface. That's supposed to have like the. It's
funny, they keep knocking it down. I remember when the Apollo was the new entry level. And
yeah,
now they're realizing it's too high, and now they're going even further.
The Apollo is not fucking entry level. Oh
it's
my
not,
god!
But compared to a $5,000 LA2A from a Universal Audio, it's quite affordable by that.
I'll give you that. Okay, 2 seconds. I've got to plug in my computer.
Oh, it's that time. It's that time.
I told you it was going to happen.
It's just, I'll talk about something I just thought about. Somebody just mentioned, I think it was Dan. No, it was Sean that mentioned Tascam. I remember I have an old pair of Tascam, from 20 years ago, a Tascam stage, PA speakers. And they say this was back when Tascam regularly advertised that they are TIAC professional division. TIAC used to make even worse product, but it's so funny because in Tascam, the quality, right, is professional. It kind of reminds me of On the software side, I'm sure some people here would remember Creative.
Oh yeah.
Creative used to make the Audigy sound cards.
Sound
for years.
Blaster.
Yep, Sound Blaster and Audigy 2. So the funny thing is, so Creative, not the best company. They were the company for consumer sound cards for many, many, many years, as some of us probably know. But they have a professional division, or they had, called Emu. And the funny thing is, Emu was Creative's professional division. The funny thing about Emu was it wasn't really that much better than they just sold. It was still the same vertical, the same business vertical they're targeting. It's prosumer, but they're making like Emu made, like an example was like a USB to MIDI in and out cable. Was a product that Emu sold, and they had some sound cards. But the funny, it's like Tascam and TX, like a professional division. It's like, is it really? It's really a professional division. Like a hair better. Maybe back again when Tascam was making tape machines and their stuff was a lot more serious than some of the stuff is now. I don't want to shit on them because you just did a free product review for them.
No. But that's the point though, and I will stand to that. Is product reviews don't like. It's not about being nice to get free products.
No, but
I don't need new products.
I especially on the stream, I tend to dial it back a little bit, but I definitely have a tendency to go a little savage, as we all know.
Fair.
So I try to dial it back a little bit when you literally just did a review on
the Bangs, the look of the B series is why people remember it and why it's not more of it also ran. Yeah, you know what? There's a lot of things about the original series. The Worker Bee I thought was a fantastic mic. Am I pulling it out to do any voiceover? No. No. I mean,
what is your go-to VO mic now?
Oh, the whatchamacallit from the ISO mic. I use that for stuff.
Duh. Yeah, of course, I guess.
I'm also using the TLM 102. That has found itself inside the booth a few times.
I was going to say, have you tried it how does it compare to, did you test the U87 in the booth or no?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I don't even remember. How did it sound?
Yeah, watch the video. You'll find out.
Yeah, fucking
it's boxy, but it sounds fantastic.
Yeah, well, I think in general, the ISO mic didn't quite sound so boxy. Mind you, again, they've catered that mic to fit in that box.
Microphone was literally like they wired everything for the ISO. Like they told me, they're like, you can use it outside of the ISOVox, but maybe not. And I'm like, all right, I won't.
Yeah,
like
well, I don't. A lot of the pickup pattern, they've catered that mic to that exact use case. And that said, I'm sure it doesn't sound bad outside of the box, but it's designed to go in the box, so you might as well use it there.
Sean says, I was playing with my Zoom H6 as an audio interface and switched from my Shure SM7B to a cheap Apex condenser microphone. The condenser doesn't sound that bad in my ears. I actually liked the Apex line of.
Did you review any of them?
Yeah, way back when I first started.
Those recently.
I liked that Apex. It was a decent mic for its price. I can't even remember the name of it. 4035B or something. It was a great little mic. And I don't know why Apex doesn't get more coverage for some of their stuff. And I know they're really like entry level shit.
They have a quality control problem, just like ART.
Yeah.
ART, honestly, when ART stuff works, and I do own a slew of ART products. In fact, I gave one away, the M4 tube mic away, because the Vanguard is a million times better. I don't need two tube mics, not for the moment anyway. But when they work, they're great. They sound okay. Like the what's the one that I use as my daily driver for compression is the Pro VLA2. It's a 2-channel tube compressor. It sounds really good, but they tend to fail. Every ART product that I've ever owned within 5 years has had a failure of some kind. Yeah. Sometimes catastrophic, sometimes an annoyance. But that's the problem with those companies, is the quality of their stuff actually isn't that bad. It's just they have a quality control problem.
Well, and I mean, when you're using cheaper,
and when you can't afford to hire, 16 QC guys on salary,
that's
obviously some stuff's going to slip through the cracks.
Bandrew still isn't talking to me. Oh, Sean.
It's okay, he's not talking to me either since I shell on his U87.
Yeah, he hasn't said anything. He went quiet here. I don't know. He's just sitting back, probably shaking his head right now.
You fools.
Emu used to make pro samplers and synths too. Ugh.
Yeah, I've never used any of their instruments. I'd be curious. I don't think I'd ever buy one, but if someone had one, I'd be curious.
They're probably going for hundreds of thousands of dollars on friggin' eBay right now.
Yeah, I mean, Boss used to do that too. I mean, mind you, that was when Boss and Roland started getting in bed together.
Yeah. Audio haze gets me. We're enjoying some nice back and forth. The walls of a smoker house. Yeah. Yuck. Somebody mentioned that there was Behringer makes guitar pedals.
Yeah, they do.
Really?
I don't have one, but I have never bought one. Nor have I wanted to buy one.
P.O. Box yet, Jan. Not yet. They cost like $150 a year.
Wow, really? Well, I guess for a year, that's not. If you got a business, but if it's,
Yeah. Bandrew says, I decided to set up a Tascam Mixcast for. Are you going to do a review video on it, buddy? I don't think this video is going live Monday. I'm going to try to get it ready to go. I do have the video for the Art AR5. If not, but I'm going to try to get it up Monday.
I hate that mic. The second I can give away that mic and just replace it with a Royer R10, I'm just going to do that.
Sean is appealing to Bandrew to be friends.
He's trying to.
I feel like we're kind of like the third wheel on a date.
Yeah, we're all a bunch of third wheels.
Zoom pedals are nice and cheap. I don't mind Zoom pedals. I had a multi-pedal from Zoom. I was all about the Boss pedals. The Blues Driver. Blues Driver is one of 100%. The best.
I've got my pedal. I've gone full Boss. All my pedal. I got the wah. I've got the volume pedal.
You go wah. You get crybaby, man. Don't screw around.
You would, but the cutout on my Boss pedal board was obviously cut to the specs of those volume, and it's a volume and wah. Like it's a hybrid. It's both. So you click on a button on the side, and it changes from wah to a thing. Okay. Plus, I swapped out the pot on it to give it more of an aggressive crybaby-esque sound. I've modded it. Anyway.
Oh, no.
Wait.
Bandrew just called out Sean. I don't understand you and your trolly comments.
So I don't think he's trolling. I don't know if he's trolling. He might be totally genuine. I have no idea.
Yeah, Sean, what do you think of the relatively inexpensive Apex 435B? That was the mic I had, the 435B.
Yeah, I would say relatively inexpensive is a good description of that.
It's under $100.
Yeah, that's that's pretty as much as cheap as you can get without getting something absolute garbage.
Bandrew says, I don't want to do a review of it at all. The Rodecaster Pro review almost made me want to quit YouTube. It's just so much stuff. Yeah, I got to say, there's a lot of work that goes into those videos. I think because one of the first videos that really kind of started to move on my channel was my Rodecaster Pro versus LiveTrack L8 video. I think that's why I feel like it's good for traffic. And I'm in a position where traffic isn't a good thing for my channel.
And I think too, and obviously like, Bandrew, with the asterisk beside this, like this is part of your channel's brand is the, I wasn't going to say clarity, but the depth that you go into with your reviews. Yeah. But like, it's really comes down to like, whether as a YouTuber, just in general, if you want to do a product spotlight or review. Reviews should mostly be opinion based. It's like, okay, I've used it. Here's some of the things I thought were great. Here's some of the things I thought you didn't. Whereas a product spotlight, then, okay, we got to dive into every feature that the thing has.
They're going to have to pay me a lot of money to get me to do a spotlight. I can't.
Yeah, well, that's it. Like, it's so dry, and you're covering so much shit. I mean, there's no reason why you can't combine them into one, but they are two different things.
But with the Rodecaster Pro, I see what Bandrew's saying, because, like, okay, so why didn't you go through all the stuff that's on the touch screen?
Yeah, well, you're going to get shit. Yeah. Like, if you miss out on something,
you're
going to get
Why didn't you tell me about that mute button in the side or the talkback button, you dick? Tell me about the talkback button. It's like,
it's a talkback button. You push it, and you can talk.
Yeah.
Enough said. Like,
no, I get where Bandrew's coming from, and being thorough. Like my script for.
Oh yeah, I appreciate thoroughness as a consumer of YouTube content. I appreciate it, but like as a YouTuber, you don't necessarily have to go that thorough on every single product.
Bandrew's really cornered the market on every single frickin' mic that exists.
Yeah, well, again, especially the thoroughness, like the different use cases that Bandrew that you'll test with them. Like I've watched a good percentage of your videos.
But I also think, like, when I'm watching podcastage, you'll notice that it's very formulaic.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. And it's like a machine.
It can be hard to have the same style of formula for mixers. There's a lot of plugging, unplugging, taking shots, overhead shots. There's a lot of shit to those videos. I get that. Maybe I'm just willing. I kind of enjoy doing the mixer videos. And I kind of wanted to get more interfaces anyways.
Just to Andrew's point, I think they're Bandrew's point. This is so not used to seeing that name. with the B in front of it. The problem with podcasting, and I think trying to that's a tough, as a YouTuber, that's a tough vertical because there's too much variance.
Yeah.
Every podcast is different. Every podcaster looks for different features. There's no one standard thing. Like if you've got someone recording voiceover, that's a really easy review to make because every voiceover person is pretty much going to use the same features. Whereas podcasts, is it a panel podcast? Is it an on location podcast? So you've in your review for the product, you've got to talk about every possible feature that a podcaster would want to use, which is basically every feature the thing has. So you might as well be doing a spotlight.
That's what he said. He's like, it includes demoing the features. And I kind of get a kick out of it. I enjoy the performance of it, to be perfectly honest. So, if you do Bandrew, you must dig up every microphone you have for comparisons and end with the U87, of course. Nice. Now I've got to get a U87 to make sure everything has a U87 in it. Actually, no, I'm going to use my own. I'll do the C414. I'm going to get a C414 and compare everything to the C414. This is what a banana sounds like. And this is what the C414 sounds like. Banana, C414.
Make sure you do the spinning it around as you're talking into it. You got to do that.
This is the top of the banana. No, I like that the U87 is basically on everything. He's like, we're going to actually look at a Behringer and we're going to compare that fucking piece of garbage to a U87.
I think it is good.
That's perfect.
I think it's good to have.
Well,
in the case
a
of Behringer, it's exactly. You need something to anchor it to because with microphones, it's also subjective. So you have to line it up. And having the same thing or having one really kick-ass product that you can measure stuff against is a useful thing.
Yeah, the best I've got is a TLM102 right now. Outside
that's
of
still
the
pretty
ISO
damn
mic.
good.
Yeah,
and the ISO mic's a weird one to compare it to because it's kind of a different piece.
I still have to do a video about the 102. I'm using it for everything under the sun at the moment, so I will get around to that.
We should do a redux of the 102 versus the 103 versus the B. Do you still have the other one, the broadcast one?
Which one?
The B.
Oh no, I don't have that one. No. That was just.
I was gonna say we should do just a Neumann shootout.
You know what? I think I might actually shoot because I can always talk to Sean and get him to send me one for maybe a couple days or something.
Yeah. So if you do that, I
gotta get the TLM103, and I don't want the TLM103.
I can ship you the U87 and U47 FET because I got one of those lying around. And
you're not going to ship me a U87.
Oh, I'm going to insure them. It's be express post.
My God.
If that goes missing, I'm going to shoot somebody.
I didn't get it, Dylan.
Those two things together,
whatsoever.
The U47 FET and the U87 in the same bag. It's like $8,000, $9,000 in microphones.
Yeah, you go ahead. Just a little bit of bubble wrap. You should be fine.
No, but that'd be cool though. Like a Neumann shootout. It'd be super pretentious. But
I'm starting to realize, Bandrew, I apologize. It seems that we've got a lot of the trolls from your channel on this one. Bang says, do you prefer the trolley comments subtle or in your face? I am versatile that way.
I prefer in your face personally because then at least I can identify that they're trolls because I'm too naive to be able to detect them otherwise.
Yeah.
So I need it to be, it's almost like sarcasm. Like sarcasm in text is hard to gauge because there are stupid people that some sarcastic things might be genuine. So I
have some trolley friends. My old drummer is ridiculous troll. Anyways.
Holy shit.
What?
My talkback knob. So this is random. I'm just pressing buttons and I just figured I've had this thing for 10 years and I just noticed this. So I have a talkback section on my little global monitor controller here. Yeah. And it's got a talkback button on it. And it's got, actually I could probably show it. There we go. It's got a talkback button on it and it's got a knob. The knob is a button. You can push it in and hear a definitive click.
Ladies
really
and gentlemen,
curious.
We can all learn today, okay? We can all learn today.
Now. Again, it's really like a bad habit. Like I don't play with pens while I'm talking to people. I'll just sit here and just press buttons on this control box because it's just so satisfying. And I was just pressing this knob and it made it click and I'm like, what? What?
So Andrew points out you can be as thorough as you like with hardware, but it's not going to help you when Rode pushes out a software update and changes things. Yeah. But you're right. But it's also like what Bandrew said. My job, his job, is to make informed purchasing decisions which includes demoing the features as they were when you bought it. Now, one of the reasons I requested a Rodecaster Pro from Rode was so I could do updates on it. Because I like that kind of stuff. I like knowing, what are the new features? Ooh.
Really? You ordered a Rodecaster Pro from Rode? I thought you would have ordered it from Sennheiser.
Shut up. Now, what's going on here is Bangs Mrs. Cheryl. Who's Cheryl?
Oh, somebody just tagged me for the first time ever. Push the button. I'm pushing it. I don't know what it does because, again, the TalkBack's not wired up to anything.
So, Banjo, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get the C414, and then that's all I'm going to do is everything's going to be compared to the C414. And I was thinking about starting the TikTok account with ridiculous reviews of like reviewing a banana like a microphone and stuff.
Well, start before
copyright
you go to doing
2021 before anyone tries to steal that, by the way.
Before you do that, though, you should get used to YouTube Shorts and get those taking off. And then
YouTube Shorts piss everybody off.
Do they? I actually watch more than
I
thought I would.
One of the funniest YouTube Shorts that I think I could do.
Is it the Super Heterodyne?
Or no, it's not Super Heterodyne. It's Super Cardioid Man. It's not Super Cardioid Man.
Oh man, you can tell broadcast.
Yeah, broadcast is getting in your head. The one that I did was when what's their names? IGN did the XLR to USB microphone cable. And they told people to just get an XLR to USB microphone cable.
Right. Oh man, I remember we went on a rant about that.
And so I did this short of me going of IGN throwing a cable at me and telling me to use it with my ISM7B.
I remember that. That was good.
I thought it was hilarious. People got mad at me. Like they're like, I don't want to see this shit. You're a reviewer. Why are you doing this crap? But I also have I'm a morning show host. I like doing stupid shit. I want to be
it's
fun.
called content creation, asshole. Right? Fuck off.
But no, it was more than a few people got really angry at the shorts because it would interrupt them during the week.
Well, tell them to get someone to stop pissing in their Cheerios and get off our case.
Maybe I should just get a TikTok channel and wear a bikini and do microphones that way.
So then the problem is, so you put up a TikTok channel, which, you could do that, or get it, start doing it on your Instagram because Instagram has Reels, which are the same thing.
Yeah, I should really get my Instagram going. By the way, the giveaway for the Arturia Minifuse 2, if you want to get in on that, I do know I'm probably going to be doing it through my Twitter. So Dark Corner YT, if you want to get in on that. I'm going to be trying to find a Gleam.io, I think, is the giveaway tool for a lot of YouTubers. But I know also YouTube doesn't really like giveaways. And I don't feel like getting a friggin' content strike on my channel. So probably...
They would give you a strike over that?
No, there's a couple channels
that's a little
channels got taken down because of giveaways. So
that's I don't agree with that.
I'm going to probably route it through my Twitter, but it's also going to be kind of tied to Arturia's Twitter as well. So we're going to be doing a thing. So just if you're not following me on Twitter, maybe do that. I don't tweet a lot, but I want to start tweeting more. I just don't have the brain for Twitter. I don't have the brain for any social media.
I am long form content wired. 140 characters does not work for me.
I don't even do Facebook. Facebook doesn't interest me. Twitter doesn't interest me. I don't take pictures of shit, so Instagram doesn't do me any good.
I used to be heavier on Instagram. I haven't posted on Instagram in a year.
Oh wow. Yeah, I'm getting pretty bad. Joey says, "Fuck YouTube Shorts. They ride my crotch too much." I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it's shorts, like pants, like shorts.
Oh, thought it was just me.
Yeah. Sean lives in Hamilton. If you live in Hamilton, you could just drive me mics on the way to work. What are you doing? I could throw a rock and probably hit your window.
I'm an Ottawa there, boy. Dylan pushed the button. TikTok scares me. Start a new channel for the YouTube Shorts. I don't want to do a new channel just for shorts. Yeah. I do have a new channel coming out. That is. Does everyone remember the video I did about what's his name there? Joe Rogan. I'm gonna be doing
vaguely. I remember it didn't go well.
No, it didn't. But it did go well, but not with my crowd. So I'm gonna be starting a channel that's a little bit more storytelling. That kind of reminiscent of what's the guy's name from today? I found out. Oh,
Oh,
bearded guy. Yeah.
fuck. God damn it. I could,
Right? Good. Get it.
Isn't his name Sean something around?
no,
Simon Whistler.
Simon Whistler.
Simon Whistler.
Going to be kind of reminiscent of Simon Whistler's style of delivery.
I love his content on all his mega projects. Today I found out, like, he's got so much good shit.
That's what I'm going to be kind of aiming this channel towards. And I know it's not going to be a massive mix with mic reviews. So, but that's also,
like,
I've got an editor for it. So
people are giving you shit for this. And like, I feel like a lot of, excluding hopefully most of the people here, but like, I feel like a lot of content consumers don't really understand how content creation works.
Well, I mean, it's the same reason Podcastage 2 exists, right? Like, he doesn't want to sully the name of Podcastage by releasing stuff that his people don't want to watch.
But at the same time, then you've got to leverage analytics on 2 channels instead of just 1, which adds double the work.
Yeah.
Double the strategizing, which is a pain in the ass. And it's YouTube, most streaming services, YouTube included, are now catered. They're designed to get you to pump out as much shit as possible.
Okay.
And yeah.
Bandrew says you get a strike if you use giveaways to inflate engagement on YouTube. Interesting.
That's so vague, though.
Yeah.
Is that intentional engagement inflation? Or because obviously, as soon as you give away anything, people love free shit.
I guess
Marketing
if you
101.
put on the video, all you got to do is like the video, subscribe, and you're in the giveaway. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, which happens like on Instagram, for example. That happens all the bloody time, and they don't care.
And I'm not doing this for subscribers. I'm doing this because a company approached me and said, "Hey, do you want to give it away?" I'm like, "Well, I don't really need another interface." So
now I wonder if on your channel you said something, like on the video where you're giving away something, if you said something like kind of roundabout, like, hey, stay tuned, more giveaways like this in the future, which kind of passively incentivizes people to subscribe.
But that's the problem, right?
But it's like, well, fuck. Like, why would YouTube have a problem with that? If anything, it's going to lead to more people spending more time on their platform. Like, it's kind of a dumb decision. Maybe Bandrew, you seem to have answers to all these. You can shed some light on that dumb, stupid
Bandrew says only if you care about the second channel. Just care about one channel. I don't care about any of my other channels. They're just for fun. You know what? And that's
if
the
you've
thing.
got the time. Yeah.
Part of, and this is going to sound all like, this is going to sound like somebody that's all like, I'm a professional. But part of my
pretentious bastard.
Part of my process is I like to tell stories. My first podcast was Dark Corner of Radio, and it was stories about the underbelly of audio.
It's the current affairs broadcaster in you.
Like it was about Diabolus and Musica. What was Diabolus and Musica? What was the Devil's Triad?
You did a whole thing on the Manson family.
The Manson family, unsolved mysteries in sound. That was a cool one. And I love that aspect of storytelling, and I also love that aspect of storytelling video. And that's the one thing, one of the reasons I walked away from my exceptionally successful podcast was I wanted to get into video. I wanted to start doing that. And this channel's allowing me the opportunity to do that. I do have a video editor. That means I only have to script and shoot. I don't have to edit.
So I got a question. So in your video catalog to date, what is the video comments wise, just in comments, has gotten the most blowback from you veering off course?
Oh, that would easily be, what's his name?
Rogan?
The Joe Rogan video.
So on that video, because I'm trying to gauge proportions here. So on that video, what was the like to dislike? What did that look like?
Oh, actually, that's a good question.
Because if 7 people are pissed off about it, but 1,000 people watch the video, who gives a shit?
But that's the thing. Most of my viewers didn't.
Yeah.
So that's where it's like, okay. And Jen says more videos like that in a new channel. Will membership be open on that channel? Eventually. The new channel hasn't been started yet. And what I'm going to be doing, just to give you a heads up in case you're wondering, it will be about YouTubers. So looking at some of the largest YouTubers and what makes those YouTubers successful. What is it that they do? So kind of taking a deep dive on channels, and not just YouTubers, but content creators as well. What makes content creators popular? I mean, essentially, it's just a deep dive on some of the psychology of why people really want to watch Mr. Beast. Like, the concept of Mr. Beast is stupidly simple. And it's so freaking successful. Or like Linus Tech Tips, I think is going to be the first video. In fact, I got a prop for my first video. Dylan, you can't see this yet. It's coming. It's coming. Oh man, my autofocus. Oh, my autofocus isn't even on. That's why.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got the LTTstore.com, by the way.
Yeah. Oh man, the amount of plugging that they do for that fucking website.
Oh,
LTTstore.com.
but once again, a business model that is.
Yeah, well, they're
perfect.
trying to branch their revenue streams, and like I know Linus has been actually pretty transparent about their experiences with running a goods business and the challenges when it comes to supply and demand and manufacturing and all that, and it is interesting. To hear people that have never done this before talk about some of the pains that everybody else knows about but doesn't talk about. I know, just responding to Bangs here, I know, kids stuff on YouTube is, don't stay the hell away from kids stuff on YouTube.
No. Ken says, I'd love to see you in a shorts on a new channel, Aiden. Your milky white Canadian complexion combined with that sultry yet sibilant voice drives me crazy. You think I'm this is milky freaking white, man. Don't look at the screen, Dylan. You don't want to see what I'm doing. Yeah. Are
you pulling your shirt off?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just using YouTube to host some of my lame stuff. I'm not serious about making a channel my platform for what I want to do. Can I have the palest Canadian legs? I don't tan. Sexy. And I mean, I don't do YouTube for money. I don't get paid enough money to do this for money. I make an okay amount between Amazon and YouTube that it justifies getting new stuff. It doesn't justify making new videos. I'm not doing a video for money. I don't make enough money off of any of these to be fuck yeah.
It's hard because, there's an old saying in the marketing business that life is a time-money continuum. If you don't have the time to spend on something, you have the money to spend on it. If you don't have the money to spend on something, you have the time. If you have neither, you're spending too much of your time doing shit that doesn't make money.
Yeah.
And that often is the thing that I find myself in. And to me, like, looking at what it takes to run a YouTube channel, which is a massive pain in the ass, to be honest. If you're doing that for no revenue at all, I know in your case, obviously you're not. You do get some revenue, but it's like it just doesn't justify the time.
Well, no, but I mean, there's a passion involved. I enjoy making, so it's like why I go on the radio in the morning. I don't do it for my paltry paycheck going on the radio. I love being on the radio. I like the performance art that's involved with doing what I do. And don't get me wrong, this is 99% of YouTube is performance art. Bandrew,
of course it is.
Performance art. All of it. It's all
every YouTuber that knows what they're doing knows that this is entertainment. This is entertainment.
You are performing, and if you want to look at somebody who has cornered the market on that, is Linus Tech Tips. Oh. They have cornered the market on making engaging, entertaining content that people don't need to watch. All of the other tech YouTubers are going off a cliff on their views. Linus is just chugging along.
Yep.
Because he's not just making GPU videos. He's making engaging and fun content to watch.
Yeah, they're broadening their output a little bit.
Yep. So when you see, like, the reason I do these videos is I love the performance of it. I love a great video. I love doing a great video. It's fantastic for me.
And just
the idea that I get paid for it is just awesome.
Even more generally, like a good story, like on the stuff that you're talking about with stories. People love hearing stories. So why there are people that are complaining at you because like, oh, you're telling stories, you shouldn't tell stories. It's like, who the fuck thinks that way? Every psychologist in the world will tell you humans are hardwired for storytelling.
Yep. Bandrew says, I don't make much on podcasts too, but it's just fun. I don't make much on the Bandrew Says podcast, but it's just fun. I don't make zero on my watch channel. By the way, if you haven't seen Bandrew's watch channel, it's fantastic. It's like the Mike channel, but with watches. It's like a regular hobby, but you can recoup some of your money spent on your hobby. How rad is that? And that's one of the things that I love about this is I don't spend the money on more microphones. I'm trying to rely on companies to send me the product. But what I can put the money into is a new camera, which I do like. I want to buy a new camera. I want to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And you can justify the expense because there is at some point going to be an ROI on that.
Yep.
Like YouTube is bringing you money. I personally, like anytime I'm buying something, especially if it's something in the 4 figures or above, my first thought is, okay, how long is it going to take with the money that's going to be made from this to recoup? And if it's longer than like 30 years, no thanks.
Yeah. Well, and that's like my main goal in turning this into not my main source of income, but a branch of it, is I'm launching a production house.
Oh, that again.
Yeah. But this time with some legs. I'm getting a website done up under Dark Corner Studios banner. And that's going to be like, that's what I'm pushing towards, because that's the stuff I like to do. I like to do voiceover. I like to do this. I like to teach. I still want to actually keep going with my college teaching job. So we'll see. At no point is this ever going to become a money thing for me, because I despise waking up to do a job for the sake of a paycheck. I do not like that.
No, I think, at some point and I just had a conversation with somebody the other day about this, about like, you need intrinsic value out of life somewhere, right? You need something that's not monetary, from whether it's in your hobbies, whether it's in, obviously it's great if it's in the work that you do, but like, if you have a really fulfilling life outside of work, but you hate your job, those two things generally balance each other out. You can go through the 8 hours knowing after the 8 hours are done, it's like, hey, I got awesome stuff coming up. But you need that to come from somewhere. So if you love doing YouTube videos and you don't make money from it, but you found something else that you can make money from, that you can just do that, great. That's all you need to do.
Andrew says, Dylan, I've recouped $300 on the U87 video. 11 more years to recoup the cost.
See, I got lucky.
Andrew, if you keep trying, you will. Don't worry.
I got lucky. I recouped for what the U87 was. I got a mix contract after I bought the U87, and I made back like 75% of that price in a month.
Nice.
But that was like, I had horseshoes coming out of my ass on that one. I don't.
Well, my final goal is to be like, I'm imaging voiceover. That's going to be the final goal for my.
By the way,
main
I don't want
source
to
of
be
income.
I don't want to be pretentious. So pursuant to what I just said, those kinds of opportunities do not come up regularly.
No,
getting
it's not
two or three,
pretentious.
getting two. Well, I don't want to make it seem like I'm getting those contracts like every day.
No. Success isn't pretentiousness.
No, it's not. But again, I feel like just saying that without shedding some light on the bit of the more of the story feels disingenuous.
He's
I
poor,
don't
okay?
I don't
All right,
like being
he's poor.
disingenuous.
He's poor
I
and he
don't
can't
wanna-
afford the stuff he buys.
I don't want to sit here and pretend like I'm a big deal when I'm not. I don't want to do that.
Just bugging you, buddy.
I don't want to do that, and I don't want to do that because I hate people that do that. I know I have a lot of friends and other YouTubers that really love to strut their stuff when they have no stuff to strut. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's a pet peeve of mine.
All right, I think I've got to call it, because one, I've got to eat.
Me too. I'm eating. This is my breakfast.
Sore.
This is my breakfast, everybody. A nice organic lager.
Nice.
Lager.
Also, my dog is whining at the door, so I think I kind of have to. I'm going to get the Mixcast 4 up and running for the next stream. I'm going to try to have the video. I've got the Rodecaster Pro for the side-by-side, doing the side-by-side comparisons. So we'll have that up and running ASAP. And yes, Julian Krause is awesome.
Yes, I agree. 100%. Julian Krause is awesome.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you once again next week. Have yourself a great week. And I